She has the vision to find her teammates, defending her. You are in constant contradiction with yourself when you're guarding Caitlin Clark. She also has to sit there like she can't hear us talking about her, which is handling wonderfully. Caitlin, proud of you on all fronts, but proud of you for handling this.
I feel like there's been so many amazing moments. It's the moments that like none of you see that I enjoy the most. It's the people that I get to spend it with, whether it's my family, whether it's my teammates, or the people that know me best. Those are the people that I really care about. At the end of the day, like, basketball is basketball. The people around me are what allow me to be really good at it, allow me to have a lot of fun, allow me to be myself, and I know I want to help this franchise get even better, help my teammates get even better, be better for my teammates, and I know there's a lot of room for me to continue to improve. The college level to the professional level, like you're playing, game, you got to really take care of your body and prioritize that, and nobody's here to babysit you. Like, you're a professional, like, this is your job, like, you better figure it out and do it yourself. A lot of people probably didn't think was possible, one, to start the season, and two, after the start we had to the season.
This girl is incredible. What she did in college for women's basketball, what she's doing in the WNBA.
She turned the Fever. We're 1-8. They have a winning record now.
But the number of attention, eyeballs, she's brought to college and the pros, and for these women to have this petty jealousness.
Just the eyes that Caitlin has brought from Iowa now to the WNBA is going to be a collective win for all. She's a part of our league and a part of our 144. Even though we're competing against each other, we're making sure that we're continuing to lift up this league together, and I think that's what's the most important thing behind it. It's a long time coming. She's a knockdown shooter. She has that range. She's a great player, and just trying to do whatever we can to make it tough.
I think the media needs to give her a little bit of grace and time to develop into. She's learning every game. Obviously, her impact on this league is going to be tremendous and only grow as she matures. Just give her some time, man. Give her some grace.
You women out there, y'all petty, man. LeBron, you're 100% right on these girls hating on Caitlin Clark. I expect men to be petty because we're the most insecure group in the world. Y'all should be thanking that girl for getting y'all ass private charters, all the money and visibility she bringing to the WNBA. What she's accomplished, give her flowers. Stop being petty, all you women out there. She got y'all ass charters. She bringing all y'all this money to the table, but y'all being petty like dudes. LeBron, you are 100% right. Y'all girls, stop being petty. Caitlin Clark, thank you for bringing all that money and shine to the WNBA.
Caitlin Clark is about to break a record that the Indiana Fever had. Isn't that a team record as well? That's not just her record. That also goes towards the team because she's the star player. And then you got to look at some of the stuff that's been said as well. Think about what Charles Barkley said about her being able to get them on flights and stuff like that. Stuff like that. Yes, that's going to create jealousy because there's unwarranted attention on her. She's not coming into the league thinking, oh yeah, this is because of me. She don't seem like that kind of player. I don't think she's even said that in any of her stuff. It don't seem like that's who she is.
For me with Caitlin, I think it's going to depend on how she can get her teammates to play with her. It's just a different ball game. The physicality of the game on this level is very different than what Caitlin, Angel, Camilla, all of them saw in college. There are players who are going to get up in her space from the time she touches the ball, and they're going to be very physical with her. And so that alone is going to take her out of her game. She even said herself after preseason game, the first preseason game they played is different, and it's something that I got to get used to.
Foot speed, her ability and her skill set outside of having a midi, which I always say she needs to get better at the midi, but the things that she knows as far as the game and the elements of creating space to get her shot off, 1, 2, to get right by you to get the fucking bucket, make that the perfect pass and the extra pass, 3, like she's got it. She just needs to do it, and she needs the team to know, I'm out here to do this shit. Y'all don't need to be hating.
A lot of other shit going on that players are like, this ain't where I want to be. So you have players that are very significant on this Indiana Fever team that are like, where I want to be.
Yeah.
But in the locker room.
Okay.
But this, I'm talking about more social media.
I think what Caitlin has done for not just college basketball, but for women's basketball, period, I think has been great. The following, people watching the game, sellouts that we haven't seen ever. It just really bothers me, though, when people just take bits and pieces of what they want to take and they don't listen to everything and you don't hear everything. It wasn't personal. One, it was my opinion on how I think she'll be at the next level, because I do remember me saying that Caitlin, to me, could be the best college shooter I've ever seen. When you put these expectations on these young women in college to go to the next level and be immediately dominant, and when that doesn't happen, then people come back and say, oh, she was a bust, she was a flop, she wasn't that good. Just let them do what they're doing in college, enjoy what they're doing in college, and let them become stars in the WNBA.
About in college,
Who plays the style that how
What
Caitlin
is the
plays?
style? Just threes?
Wow. It's not just threes.
What is
though.
her style?
And
So
she's
you
at
don't
all
think
levels?
anybody in the league can shoot threes?
No,
It don't matter. That's what I'm saying. You guys are talking about.
She not on my team, so I really don't got to worry about that. That's Indiana's problem. They got stars of their own over there.
Who plays like Caitlin's what I'm saying from a female? Who do you think plays like her? haven't seen a female play like her.
I've had games in college and pro, 6, 7, 8 threes made.
Thanks up.
But her percentages.
But I think it's like from a freedom standpoint too. I haven't seen a player with that type of green light before in college. I say it all the time, I'm very excited to see how it translates into W.
I think the WNBA narrative right now is Caitlin Clark. Good narrative, but it's also not the only narrative. Caitlin is an amazing generational talent, and she's going to do amazing things. You're the number one pick. People are going to go after you, whether it's for the right or wrong reasons because they see greatness in you. And what the WNBA is measuring one type of greatness against the other greatness. There's just so much more to the WNBA than Caitlin, but Caitlin is the face right now, and that's also good. She's selling out gyms. Why would you hate against that? We had a sold-out home opener. I think it was a practice game, like it wasn't even serious. We benefited from that because now we have all our fans there, and they're excited, and you have new people coming into a market. She is her own economy, and that is amazing. And she's being paid her worth. And now we need to get other women on board to get paid their worth because she's the reflection of what should happen in women's sports.
After months of having Legends fans and WNBA stars criticize Caitlin Clark nonstop, a basketball icon has come to firmly defend the Indiana Fever's guard. And this time, the icon didn't hold back. Well, join me as I walk you through how and why Dick Vitale did not hold back with thoughts on Caitlin Clark. Best thing ever to hit the WNBA. If you're a big fan of college basketball, you've probably heard of Dick Vitale, the Basketball and College Basketball Hall of Famer, who also works as one of college basketball's top analysts, is a basketball icon who has earned respect around the basketball world. Vitale began his career as a high school coach, winning 2 state championships before taking over as head coach at the University of Detroit, where he led the Titans to a 78-30 overall record over 4 years. In 1976-1977, Vitale led the Titans to a 21-game winning streak. In any case, his last coaching job was with the Detroit Pistons for 2 seasons. And while he has had an accomplished coaching career, many people remember him more for his work as an ABC TV and ESPN sportscaster. Dick Vitale called ESPN's first NCAA basketball game and has since called over 1,000 NCAA and NBA games. And throughout his legendary career, the basketball icon has seen enough generational talent to identify one, and according to Vitale, Caitlin Clark is one and has proven time and time again that she is. Dick Vitale made this comment after the Indiana Fever clinched the playoffs for the first time since 2016. He complimented the Indiana Fever for such a great performance, then went on to praise Caitlin and call out the WNBA because of her. Caitlin Clark, 22, who faced scrutiny pressure, responded in a positive manner despite the petty jealousy she had to deal with. She's the best thing ever to hit the WNBA, Vitale wrote on Twitter. An icon like Vitale calling Caitlin the best thing to ever hit the WNBA definitely has some truth to it. Vitale has seen Cadence Parker, Lisa Leslie, Diana Taurasi, Maya Moore, Cheryl Swoops, and even Indiana Fever's legend, Tamika Catchings. Yet he still calls Caitlin Clark the best thing to ever hit the WNBA. So how could that be? Cadence Parker, for one, is 7th all-time in rebounds, 6th in blocks, and 7th in field goal percentage. She is a 3-time rebounding champion, the only player in WNBA history to win MVP and Rookie of the Year honors in the same season. A Finals MVP, a Defensive Player of the Year, and the first woman to appear on the cover of an NBA 2K game. Lisa Leslie is the 9th all-time leading scorer, 5th in rebounds, and 2nd in blocks. She is a 3-time rebounding champion, 3-time MVP, 2-time Finals MVP, and the first WNBA player to dunk. Diana Taurasi is highly regarded as the best offensive player in WNBA history. So how can Caitlin be the best thing to have ever hit the WNBA? Taurasi is the only player with over 9,000 points. She is a 5-time scoring champ, a 2-time Finals MVP, and a league's MVP. Who could possibly forget Maya Moore? A #1 pick who left the game in her prime, yet exceeded all unthinkable expectations that were set for her. Maya Moore was in the league for 8 years and reached the WNBA Finals 7 times, winning 4. Cheryl Swoops is also a notable mention. After all, Historically speaking, she is the first to record a triple-double and was also the first to have won an NCAA championship, a WNBA title, and an Olympic gold medal. She is a 3-time MVP and Defensive Player of the Year and a 2-time scoring champion and steals champion. Well, Indiana Fever's legend Tamika Catchings can't also be ignored because she is by far the most complete basketball player to play in the WNBA. She remains the only player in the league to ever finish a season in the top 10 in points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks, and she did it twice. Caitlin Clark may have led the Fevers back to the playoffs after an 8-year absence, but Tamika Catchings did it for 12 straight seasons, and she did it without a lottery pick. We could go on and on about WNBA legends that have defined the WNBA, but regardless of that, Vitale is right in his statement that Caitlin has proven to be the best thing ever to hit the WNBA. There's an argument to be made about her performance and the many records she has broken in just her first season in the WNBA, given that some WNBA veterans suggested the former Hawkeye guard would have trouble adjusting to the league. However, Caitlin being the best thing to happen to the WNBA has more to do with the attention she has brought to the league, the Caitlin brand. I mean, did you know that the average attendance in the 33 games Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever have played this season is 15,746, which leads the WNBA with an 85% drop in the average attendance of WNBA games not involving Caitlin Clark? The Caitlin Clark effect has seen an almost 200% increase in viewership for the WNBA, a 265% increase in fans that have attended Fever home games this season, and a 1,193% increase in uniform sales year over year. This season, games starring Caitlin Clark broke WNBA single-game viewership records for 6 TV networks, with her recent game against the Aces attracting more viewership than Game 5 of the 2023 series between the Miami Heat and Milwaukee Bucks. Caitlin is a moving force and the biggest brand in women's basketball, and her presence without a doubt is the best thing to have happened to the WNBA. And with that comes what Dick Vitale also called out the WNBA for: petty jealousy. Petty jealousy. Calling Caitlin Clark the best thing ever to hit the WNBA, surprisingly, isn't the only thing Dick Vitale has had to say about the Indiana Fever superstar. The Hall of Famer also praised the guard for rising about all the petty jealousy she has had to deal with in the league. By now, it isn't news that Caitlin's debut season has been heavily tainted with petty jealousy from those who should have supported her. Veterans like Dejanai Carrington and Chennedy Carter have taken a spiteful jab at her on social media. Dejanai Carrington even mocked her on the court, while 6-time All-Star Skylar Diggins-Smith seemed to purposely crash into her after the Fevers beat the Storm. Caitlin has got legends of the game, Lynette Woodard, Brianna Stewart, Diana Taurasi, and particularly Shirley Swoops, discrediting her accomplishments. Shirley in particular has over and over again belittled Caitlin's first year in the league, very recently claiming she wasn't dominant despite leading all rookies in the league history in points, assists, and three-pointers made. Caitlin holds the WNBA records for most assists in a season, most assists in a game, and career 25 points plus 10 assists. So how much dominant can she possibly be? Well, Dick Vitale has applauded her for rising above all the petty jealousy thrown her way. This wouldn't be the first time he would, however, call out the petty jealousy Caitlin has faced in the WNBA. Earlier in the season, when Chennedy Carter unprovokedly hit her, Dick Vitale called on the league's commissioner to suspend and heavily fine anyone found guilty of causing physical contact that isn't within the rules of basketball. It must stop. Play basketball. All the chirping and moaning is nothing more than petty jealousy, Vitale tweeted. His tweet caused several divided opinions, with some defending Carter. But Vitale stood his ground to let everyone know that she crossed the line and that a generational talent like Caitlin needs protection. He doubled down that the physicality of the league and on Caitlin has gone too far and shouldn't be allowed to continue unchecked. This particular incident wouldn't even be the first time Dick Vitale has come to support Caitlin Clark. He has always been her strongest supporter since she was in Iowa. Longtime defender and supporter. As far back as Caitlin's time in Iowa, Dick Vitale had always publicly supported Caitlin Clark. According to the Hall of Famer, he claims he got introduced to the guard by ESPN's Dave O'Brien, and since then, can't believe how talented Caitlin is. In his words, she is as good as it gets. Well, for what it's worth, Vitale since then has been her defender and supporter, because during her time with Iowa, he called her the best player in the nation in women's basketball, and a must-watch TV. When ESPN's Jay Williams and two-time WNBA Finals MVP, Breanna Stewart argued that Clark couldn't be considered great because she never won a national championship in college, Vitale was Clark's biggest defender. According to him, Clark was already great, and it wasn't fair that her accomplishments were being discredited because she didn't win a championship. Championships are won by strong, talented teams, Dick Vitale said. Dick used Wilt Chamberlain, who only won 2 championships in his NBA career, as a vivid example, stating that he doesn't get a fair shake in history because he didn't play with a Hall of Famer stacked roster like the Celtics. And truth be told, his argument is solid because Dawn Staley, Lynette Woodard, Kelsey Plum, and Sabrina Ionescu also never won a title in college. Lisa Leslie only won 1 Pac-10 conference championship in college. So, in many ways, a title doesn't take away from the fact that Caitlin Clark is definitely up there with the greatest women's basketball player in history. A couple of fans have also commented their opinions in support of Dick Vitale's comment, and according to user, basketball is a team sport. Can't win a championship with 1 or 2 players. You need role players. Another user commented, agree, she is to the WNBA what Jordan was to the NBA. If you enjoyed this video, the next video on your screen is worth your time.